Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome to my first ever State of the Collection video. I hear these videos are becoming extinct, they've been replaced by an app or something. I thought I'd better make one before I get replaced by an app. Now 2017 has been another crazy year of watch buying, selling, trading, modifying, general tinkering, chatting and enjoying. Even crazier in fact than 2016. So this video allows me to take stock of exactly how many of the blooming things that I've got in the house. I thought I'd do this wrist shot style, rattle through them in fairly short order. Most of the pieces today I've reviewed separately. There are however half a dozen that are either too new, I haven't made videos about them yet, or they're a little bit special. I keep them in my top box, bring them out for special occasions. Alright, I'm going to be busy, let's get into it. Hi, my name's Jody and I'm a Casio-holic. But I'm on the 12-step program, I can quit at any time, I'm in charge now. Yeah, okay, so maybe I've got one or two too many Casios, but they've always been a bit of a thing for me. The first watch I can remember owning was a Casio. Stay tuned, that one will appear at some point later on. And I've had some of these. I've had the Silver Count for 10 years, my old Zombie Apocalypse. Tough Solar down there for 5 years. A lot of them though I have picked up over the last couple of years. They're just such great value for money. 15 US for the AE 1200, up to a maximum, I don't think I've paid more than 37 US. That was for the G-Shock 5600. So we've got an A158, which is the F91's metallic cousin. Two of these Casio Royales, the AE 1200s. Two of these, my favourite calculator watch, the DBC 32. This one sporting a beautiful handmade leather strap at the moment. The Pig Ugly DW290 that I just picked up for the channel. And the Duro, the MDV 106, also just bought pretty much for review. Now I had a 5600 G-Shock a few years ago, had it for about a decade, loved the thing, but it died, so I was delighted to find this one on Amazon recently for only $37. So I picked one of those up, and as mentioned, this one, it's a Tough Solar, it's the AWS 800, I think. Multiple alarms, bit of loom on the hands there, super light, 100 meter water resistance. I've got this one on a Velcro as the Zombie Apocalypse watch. Should they attack one day, I'll grab this one and run like hell. So there you go. I can't see myself getting rid of any of these over the next 12 months, but I certainly shouldn't be adding to my Casio collection. I think it's quite sufficient as it is. Alright, so the Swatch System 51. Now this is the System Red. If you're unfamiliar with these, Swiss automatic for just over $100, but the entire thing's made of plastic. Now I picked this up just to see what all the fuss was about earlier on this year. Haven't worn it an awful lot, I must admit. I think maybe if I'd picked one that was a little more legible, I would have worn it more often. But the summer's coming up, I think it's a nice summery watch, if only it was a little more water resistant. But 90-hour power reserve, made in Switzerland. Always a lot of fun with these watches. The System 51. Up next, a pair of Vostoks. Now, I bought a Commandersky last year, pretty much hated it. Picked up this Amphibia this year, loved it. Just one more Vostok. These things are so devilishly addictive. This is the 710634. It's the Ministry case with the exposed lugs and the black Scooby-Doo dial. A good place to start, I think, if you're looking at these Amphibia. Just love it. Such a quirky piece of design. Now, I actually modified this. I've got a Seiko SKX style bezel for it, and I also replaced the crown with a stainless steel one rather than the chromed brass that it comes standard with. But I stripped it back to original. This one's off to Ivan over at Perth Watch, a fellow Australian YouTuber. He's going to get a bunch of my stuff in the new year, so definitely subscribe to Ivan if you're not already a subscriber. So I stripped it back to original. Love that domed acrylic crystal. Not so sure about the uber shiny Russian style bracelet on this one. I've mostly been wearing it on a leather strap, but just love these Amphibia. And it's this one that's been getting the majority of my Russian wrist time. This is the 420288. So a slightly different case shape, a little bit smaller at 39mm, 18mm lug width. And what I did with this one, as you can see, is that I replaced the bezel with a smooth bezel, kind of deleting the bezel out almost. I also replaced the crown with one of those stainless steel ones, as you can see. I've been wearing this one on a mesh. I've been wearing it on this. I picked this up for, I think, 12 Aussie. Polished the mid links out myself, so they're all now brushed. I really do like this one. A nice smaller size. If you have 7-inch wrists or less, I would recommend maybe looking at these 420 cases. Cracking little timepieces though, eminently modifiable. You can muck around with them, take the case backs, no problem. They won't get any less water resistant because of the pretty unique design. Really into these Vostoks. Maybe I'll do some dial and date wheel swaps next year. Next up, we're on to Seikos. So I started the year never having owned a Seiko, and I finish the year with 4 in my collection, having bought and sold a 5th. So this is the SNKL 23. Lovely little Seiko 5, a Hodinkee article, big popular urban gentry video from earlier on this year. I bought this one really for the channel, and it's been great for the channel, but it's also a lovely little watch. Amazing what Seiko can do for not a lot of money. Reliable, accurate automatic movement, enough lume to keep you going. It's a shame the bracelets are a little bit rough. They look good, but rolled links and they do nip your hairs. So this one much better on leather or even NATO. But a beautiful little watch, getting very expensive, the SNKL 23. If you like the look and can't find one of these, the SNKL 19 is the same but in gold and grey, or there's a number of other options with a black dial that don't look all that different. New to the channel, never seen before on YouTube, this lovely Seiko 7002 I just picked up in a trade, so big thank you to Dr. Jason who traded me for this one. Sitting on an Uncle Seiko beads of rice strap. I think it looks fantastic. Now he bought it modded, Jason. I'm not sure about those mods. I quite like the plongeur hands, but I think I'll be remodding this one. In fact, I've just bought a blue bezel insert and chapter ring and dial and hands and so on. So look out for this one to be featuring in a mod vid in the new year. But it keeps great time and it looks in great shape. Not bad at all considering this watch is at least 20 years old, the 7002. My wee SKX 013, isn't it just such a little cutie? I really like this size. Picked this one up about 3 months ago, the smaller 38.5mm SKX, and I love it. I wear it quite low, quite loose. It's only about 111 grams. I think, again, for guys with 7-inch wrists, you can pretty much pick and choose which of these SKXs you wear. Really, the lug length is the same. They wear quite similarly, actually. I quite like the Jubilee, I must admit. Very, very comfortable. Lovely smooth edges on this watch. No sharp edges anywhere, so it wears very, very comfortably on the wrist. You know, great lume. The only downside of these is the Hardlex crystal. I've got from Crystal Times, Alex at Crystal Times Horology, I've got a piece of sapphire waiting to go into this one in the new year. I've got a ceramic bezel on the way as well. Expect another mod video soon, 2018, the year of the mod. Oops, the SKXs are multiplying. How did this happen? I just picked up this lovely condition 009 this week used from the Australian Watch Buy, Swap and Sell Facebook group. If you're an Aussie and you're not a member, you should be. A little bit rich for my taste, a lot of the stuff on there, but I bought and sold a couple of pieces at under 200, so there's plenty of budget stuff out there. Also, nice watch, wears a little bit heavier than the 013, obviously, but not that differently on the wrist. Quite into the Jubilee on this one as well. Again, wear it loose, wear it a little bit lower than I would normally, but perhaps I'll be modding this one as well in 2018 also. And this Bomb Frog is actually a little bit special. It's one of the few review pieces I've looked at this year that has survived and ended up in my collection, pretty much because it's a Seiko homage. It's a 6105 homage, and I can't afford to drop 2 G's on one of them, so this will have to do until I pick up a mini turtle this year. I like the watch a lot, super comfy, disappears on the wrist, NH35 movement, crazy amounts of AR coating on the domed sapphire crystal as well. This one sitting on an Uncle Seiko Tropic. I think these Tropics could be the strap of the summer. Well, if it is your summer, if not, you'll have to wait until next year, but a really nice strap. I'm going to do a little video on the stuff that Larry sent me recently as well. But I do like the Bomb Frog. Funny 90 click unidirectional bezel, but check that bezel action. Just outrageous. 500 meters water resistance on this one as well. Great summer watch. Okay, now we're into the good stuff. I've got a beautiful handmade wooden watch box which contains 8 pieces. These are pretty much staples. This is my best stuff, stuff that I've had for quite a while, or stuff that is unlikely to go anywhere in the future, including this lovely little Seagull 1963. I picked this one up early last year, one of the first big watch purchases I made of late, and it's just gorgeous. I don't get it out and about as much as I should. That acrylic dome crystal does worry me a little bit. Got a couple of small scratches on it, but I should really get over that and take this watch out and about. It is just lovely. Sitting on a Hirsch Ranger Retro. You don't get too many column wheel chronos for less than $300, certainly not with the genuine provenance, history and the story attached to this one. Lovely little watch, highly recommended if you want something different for your collection. So what is this doing in your top box, Jody? Well, there you go. This is a Casio W10 from 1986, new old stock that I purchased for far too much money earlier on this year because this was the watch that I owned in 1986. I saw it on eBay and I just had to have it. I delayed for a couple of months, balking at the price, but you know, you're only going to find one of these once, so I decided to buy it. And it hasn't left the watch box. It's a Safe Jenny Casio. Who knew there was such a thing? Lovely little piece though, a real kind of memory lane watch for me. 50 meters water resistance and so on. Pretty much was superseded by the F91W in the early 90s, but this was the one that I grew up with as a wee boy in Scotland. So a very special piece, and I was glad to be able to pick it up. Another special little watch, this one, and one that I know nothing about this little cami other than the fact that it was owned by my grandfather. Now, he died in the late 1980s. It sat in a drawer at my nan's house until she died in 2007, and I've had this one ever since. I wear it a couple of times a year. Lovely little hand winder, a little Swiss 17 jewel movement. It runs remarkably well. Could probably do with a service. It's getting a little tricky to wind, so I'll be dropping this one into a watchmaker over the next year or so. I polywatched the acrylic crystal last year. Came up a treat actually. Really nice, but the beautiful patina on the dial. This one's going nowhere. I really like this watch. Definitely one for occasional days with a suit, but it's just a beautiful little piece. Delighted to be able to have this little piece of my granddad on my wrist occasionally. Another little 34mm vintage piece, this one. I'm slightly miffed. It stopped working last week. I went to pick it out the box. I checked it the night before and I went to pick it out the box to wear it the next day, and it had died at 2:30 in the morning. So never mind, it would have been nice to have it running for this video. But I've owned this one since the early 90s. It used to be my dad's. He picked it up second hand, gave it to me in 1992. I used to rock this one at school thinking I was a G. I was not a G. But anyway, it's a lovely watch. It's been in great condition. I've kept it in good shape. It got the full Omega treatment a few years ago, which was not cheap, but I pop a battery in it every couple of years and it ticks away nicely. I think from 1982, 1983, something like that, this one. Little quartz piece, it'll probably run forever. The Ratley Jubilee reminds me a lot of the SKX actually. I don't know which watch that says more or less about, but there you go, another piece that I'll never get rid of. This one's mine, this one's a keeper. Another watch making its YouTube debut today that I will never get rid of. My beloved pre-bond Omega Seamaster. Now, Omegas didn't used to be the prices they are today. I picked this one up back in the year 2000 from Glasgow in mint condition. I think I paid £250 for it. I then proceeded to beat the living daylights out of it for a decade. There's 10 years of my life scratched into that bezel insert. Again, I'll never replace the bezel insert. Too many good memories, too many broken ribs around its edges. Just love this watch. Quartz again, super thin, super light, you know, just a lovely timepiece. Very, very simple. If I could find another one of these in good condition, I'd probably keep it as a daily wear. Used to have the Omega symbol on the clasp. That ended up in a beach in Australia in sometime in the mid-2000s. Loom still works, still keeps great time. This is one of these with the transitional movement. I think they were quite rare, this one, for a quartz, the rarest of these Seamaster 200s. Keep your eyes on these. Apart from the integrated bracelet, I think this one is a bit of a future classic. I never fancied the 300. Perhaps it's because I already owned the 200. But a lovely watch, again one that I'll be keeping forever. Delighted to have this one still in my collection, even if it is slightly rough around the edges, or perhaps because of it. The Ocean Rover. Bit of a polarizer, this one. People love this watch or hate this watch. Really the watch that helped me launch the channel. I was toying with the idea of getting into YouTube earlier on this year. Came across this beautiful and controversial watch. The manufacturer was offering discounts if you made a video. The light bulb went off in my head. I bought one the next day, made a bunch of videos and really started this channel. It is a beautiful timepiece. You know, regardless of the slightly ambitious claims that I think that Junot made when they were promoting this watch, their slightly dubious, I think genius marketing tactic about giving people discounts for reviewing the thing, and the complete lack of originality in design, it is beautifully made. No rough edges in this watch at all. It is just gorgeous. Love that golden sand loom. I believe they're now doing the maxi loom with a date, which I think would be a really nice long-term watch. Super accurate regardless of where the origins of this movement are. It's very, very accurate. Glide lock style clasp here. This one, as you can see, has had a bit of a rough and tumble with me over the last year, but it's just a stunning watch. Always nice to wear. Love the glide lock as well. You can adjust it on the fly so that it's always the right fit regardless of whether it's hot, cold, you're in the water, on the beach, whatever. It's always the right fit. Lovely watch, the Junot. So saving the best for last then, it's my two big boys, my two big hitters, my two Swiss luxury pieces. Both of them COSC certified chronometers. This one, the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra Coaxial chronometer. This one's the 38.5mm, so the slightly smaller of the two sizes. Love the size. I've got a 7-inch wrist. I think this one is spot on. I tried the other one on, it was a little bit bulky. This is a beautiful watch with that black dial. So much depth, so much character, so much texture there. And the glass, it doesn't actually look like there's a piece of glass there. Quite remarkable. You're just looking straight down at the dial most of the time. Lots of nice characteristics, lots of little touches on that face. Keep me looking at this one forever. Polished middlings, not really my cup of tea, and they are quite shiny in the Australian sunshine. I've been wearing this one quite often on a leather strap or even a sailcloth strap. I've got a custom made leather one on the way from Italy if it ever turns up. A few scratches here and there, but this one was my engagement watch. This was a present from my beautiful wife-to-be. This one therefore is going nowhere. And my number one, the big boy, the top dog in my collection, my Breitling Navitimer. Just love this thing. Got it in 2015. My father owned Navitimers for, pretty much 50 years. And in 2015, he was incredibly kind and generous and was in a position to be able to give me this one. Just a beautiful watch. 42, 43. It's kind of big, but it wears kind of small. Originally came on a black leather with a deployant, but I found it a little bulky, so I picked up this lovely tan leather one with a tang. Fits much nicer on my wrist, I think. Was wearing this one today. A captivating watch. So much going on. Love that AR coating on the dial of this one as well. Dome crystal, lovely bit of distortion there. Super accurate again. COSC chronometer certified. Very, very lucky. I feel very lucky, very spoiled to own this Breitling and the Omega. Two incredible watches that I didn't think I would ever own. So there you have it, my first and possibly my last state of the collection video. Far too many watches, but then again, that's the name of the channel, isn't it? Just one more watch. No major goals for 2018. I'll probably rationalise a bit, selling a few of the pieces that I don't wear as much as I should do, and try and wear those nice Swiss luxury items more often than I do. Also, thanks for watching. Have a great Christmas, have a great holiday. See you in 2018 for more of this.